Hello, my fellow cigar smokers, and welcome to Smoker's Spot. We are enjoying today the La Flor Dominicana Face-off by Eiroa and some Christmas cookies. Stay tuned. So my friends, it is winter time again, or we could say winter is coming. And we're smoking a very special cigar today. It's the La Flor Dominicana Face-off by Eiroa. Never quite sure how you pronounce that name. It is spelled E-I-R-O-A. Eiroa, not quite sure, my Spanish sucks. But I will talk a little bit more about that name and that cigar when we're in progress of smoking and checking out some nice Christmas cookies. And why are we doing all this here? But first of all, first things first, let's get this good cigar started. Has almost no smell, but frankly, we are outside. It's a little bit cold, so that definitely affects the smell a little bit. So I'm a little bit more focused on the taste and the cold draw. Looking good. Guys, that's a very interesting cigar. Don't know if you know the story of this one yet, but you will be excited. I lost a little bit here of the wrapper that is glued around the foot, but doesn't matter in this case because it had a triple cap anyways. So what is it about Christmas cookies and cigars? Is that something that you can actually pair? Yes, you can. I've brought here myself a few different cookies, all like hand-baked by my mother. She loves to do Christmas cookies. She's actually starting every year, like in October, doing the cookies, and then that lasts until way after Christmas. So we always blast with a lot of different cookies here. They vary greatly, so we have something that is over and over covered with chocolate, or some others that are just containing like a white cookie dough and some nuts or so, and they also vary in their grade of sweetness. You know, guys, that's not really like a special episode about how to pair Christmas cookies and a cigar. It's more a little bit a story time of the cigar, cookies, and why it's a good idea to having cigars and cookies together. Wow. A lot of chocolate now. The cigar already starts to develop some sweetness. Going very good along with these cookies. Let me tell you a little bit about this cigar. Don't know if you heard about it. Really special one. So first of all, one could ask why we have a La Flor Dominicana, and then we have Eiroa down here. It's Christian Eiroa who took part in that Face-off challenge. Explain a little bit more later. So there are two different cigar makers. We have Lito from La Flor Dominicana, and we have Christian Eiroa, who back then, when this cigar was made, still owned Camacho cigars. He now has some new cigars, for example, the CLE series, and another brand that's just running under his name, Eiroa. So what happened? This cigar is actually from 2003. So by the time of the recording, 17 years old. Quite some time on their back. What was the idea back then? Lito from La Flor Dominicana and Christian Eiroa from Camacho back then decided to start a challenge. The idea was they getting the tobacco from each other. So Eiroa's getting the tobacco from La Flor Dominicana, from Lito and Lito is getting the tobacco from Christian Eiroa. And the goal was making with each other's tobacco a better cigar than the original owner of the tobacco could make. So in this case, since this is the La Flor Dominicana by Eiroa, this is the cigar that Christian Eiroa made. And he made it with the tobacco from Lito from La Flor Dominicana. So it is a La Flor Dominicana made by Christian Eiroa. A La Flor Dominicana made by Camacho in 2003. And there's also a Camacho, which is made by Lito The price was 700,000 euros. And everyone had to make like 50,000 cigars. And they were coming back then in boxes by 24 cigars. Now the criteria was ringage of 50 and almost 6 inches long. I think this one is like 5.75 inches long. So it's not only a special cigar because it's 17 years old. It's a special cigar because that was like a once in a lifetime challenge. I never saw this before, and I never saw something like this after that challenge. And that was very, don't know guys if you were into cigar smoking back then, but it was quite a thing. Everybody of course was reporting about it, and you know, it was, after all, it was just a big marketing thing. I'm pretty sure Christian Eiroa and Lito they had a nice chat while they're smoking a cigar and said, well, I have a good idea how to promote cigars. Let's do this challenge. And so they started it. Good idea and good cigars. Well, this Christian Eiroa has made a damn good cigar. Sweet, some nutty flavors, that getting along very good with cookies. A little bit of pepper. So this La Flor Dominicana by Eiroa is made out of Dominican tobacco, of course, because he was getting it from Lito Gomez. And just one exception, everybody was allowed to use a little bit of their own tobacco in order to finalize the plant. So we have the wrapper is Dominican, the binder is Dominican, and then the filler we have mostly Dominican tobacco with just a little bit of Honduran tobacco. Not sure what tobacco it exactly is. Quite frankly, also it's a good cigar. The wrapper looks like, well, ordinary. Like if I wouldn't know exactly what it is, I would, from the first glance, I would say it's a Connecticut shade. However, good draw, very good construction, some fine flavors. So, what is it all about with Christmas cookies, cigars and Christmas cookies? Some people in general have a problem smoking cigars and eating something while they are smoking. Well, I'm not part of this group. I have no problem eating something and smoking. Frankly, I wouldn't eat my dinner and smoke a cigar, but I have no problem smoking a cigar and eating some cookies or a few chocolate pieces or something like this. I'm perfectly fine with that. More than that, I think you can drink whiskey or rum together with your cigar, and that is, for me, is more or less the same level, you know, because what I'm always trying to do is adding something to the cigar flavor, or adding something to the whiskey flavor or so. So in this case, I have this nice aroma of the cigar, and I want to add something to it. I want to modify it somehow, and I can do that when I'm drinking a whiskey, for example, or I can do it when I'm eating a piece of chocolate or cookies. You know, with different cookies, like the ones we have here, it's a kind of a surprise box, you know, because you're not quite sure. Right now I know all these cookies, so I know how they taste. But I already did it with cookies that I don't know so good. So mostly there are some kind of sweetness in it, but you don't know. Sometimes there are some weird spices and herbs in it, so that the taste is not only dominated by sweetness, it can have something else, like cinnamon, for example. I mean, that's some crazy shit when you're smoking a cigar and have some cookies with cinnamon in it. It's totally crazy. You have to try this one. Unfortunately, now I have no cookies that have cinnamon in it, but you can try definitely this one, and let me know what you think about it. So, Christmas cookies, or cookies in general, of course, we're heading towards the Christmas time, and I'm eating a lot of cookies and I'm smoking a lot, so makes perfectly sense for me to combine these two things and see what we have. With the first cookie I had, it was like this one. They had a lot of chocolate flavors in it, sweetness, and they were covered with some white powder sugar, which is another source of sweetness. So a very sweet cookie, and you have this nutty cigar that also has some sweetness. Getting great along. But even more than just to adding some flavors in it, it's also a thing about how you feel when you're smoking a cigar. and what do you want to achieve when you're smoking a cigar is, I'm a big Christmas fan, and I'm trying even this year. It's kind of tough with Corona, and maybe if you have a big family, it's probably not possible to invite them for the Christmas celebration. But you have to make the best out of the situation. So trying to bring yourself into a mood that you can get ready for Christmas or feel the Christmas spirit, if you want. So, and food helps, and there is of course some typical things you do in the Christmas time, and that all comes together. Like I said, guys, it's hard to describe. It's hard to describe why I'm smoking cigars in order to get myself into the Christmas mood, But it's all about relaxation. I want to enjoy. I want to relax. I want to have a good Christmas time where everybody is happy and feels comfortable around each other. And smoking cigars helps me to relax. So, and if you're relaxed, it's a lot easier to influence other people, that they getting relaxed too. Because when it's hectic around and it's stress and you're running back and forth and doing things, that's not very relaxing, So, chill, smoke a cigar, eat some good cookies. So, you already see that's not the typical pairing episode, more telling some stories episode. But I hope you enjoyed anyways. So guys, the sad thing is that I only have I think 4 or 5 of these cigars left, and when they are gone, they are gone. You can probably, when you're lucky, you find some of them on the secondary market, like on places where you can trade cigars or auctions or something like this. But in a shop, I don't think that anyone still offers this one. But sometimes, the other day, I always was a big Dunhill fan, and they stopped their production, so they're not making cigars anymore. I was talking about this I think 2 years ago or so, and I always was a big Dunhill cigar fan, and of course they were selling all what that is left, but at some point after, I think it was 6 or 9 months after they said that Dunhill will stop making cigars, that you were not longer able to find Dunhill cigars on the market. So either you had you bought 10 or 15 boxes and stored them somewhere, or you're out of luck and no more Dunhill cigars. When they're gone, they're gone. I bought a lot of them, but at some point I smoked all Dunhill cigars. And then the other day, a very big online retailer here in Germany, I'm getting their newsletter, and they're saying, guys, get what? We have some Dunhill cigars back in stock. And it was not like they have 10 cigars, they had hundreds of boxes. Not sure where they get them from. I ordered some, and I saw, like I said, it's an online retailer in Germany, and the boxes, they had some, the smoke kills, bands and patches on the boxes. They were in Spanish, so I figured they found somebody in Spain where they were getting these cigars from. You don't know the whereabouts and what happened exactly. I don't care. I just ordered a lot of more Dunhills, because you never know when you get that opportunity back. And that might be the same with this Face-off by Eiroa or the Face-off by Lito. They're not longer available on the market, but at some point you might be lucky and you're getting a newsletter from your favorite online retailer and saying, guess what, we have the Face-offs back. So, and then you have to order them straight away, because like 1,000 people getting these newsletters, and when they gone, they gone. So since I know all these cookies here, and I of course know the cigar, I can tell you straight away my favorite combination, and that is that chocolate covered shortbread and the cigar over here, because it has a nice mixture. The cookie dough here is like half of it is made of some nutty cream or some nuts that were powderized or whatever. I don't know. I'm not into baking cookies at all. I just eat them. But it's a good combination. You have sweetness from the chocolate here, and you have a very fine nutty flavor from the cookie dough. Ta-da! Not a very intense sweetness, because there's not a whole lot of chocolate. The nutty flavors are dominating, and then you have the nutty flavors of this cigar. Guys, that's just delicious. So guys, don't want to bore you about my Christian Eiroa and Face-off stories and Christmas time bullshit. I just hope you enjoyed this somehow unusual or maybe strange pairing episode of cigars and Christmas cookies. And maybe you enjoyed a few stories that I had to tell. I hope you can smoke a good cigar and some good cookies. And I hope you guys can enjoy the end of the year, the Christmas time. I hope you can spend some quality time with your loved ones. Don't forget to smoke. It helps you relaxing. Most importantly, stay safe, stay healthy.